In the world of laser cutting, there are principles most people never see. Yet, they silently govern how the beam forms, how the energy concentrates, and why a cut turns out perfect, or doesn't. To master laser cutting, you don't need to memorize parameters. You need to understand what's happening behind the cut, how energy behaves inside the beam, how it interacts with the material, and what technologies keep the process stable during long production hours. So today, we'll break down the 10 most important advanced concepts, organized into 3 fundamental pillars: how laser energy is generated and behaves, how that energy interacts with the material, and which technologies keep the process stable over time. Let's start with the source of it all, the beam itself. Before thinking about parameters, it's worth asking, what really determines the quality of the beam coming out of the head? Where does cutting precision actually begin? The answer is simple. It depends on the beam shape, purity, and effective focus zone. If you don't understand that, everything else becomes trial and error. The beam quality value represents how perfect the beam is compared to an ideal one. A low beam quality means the energy is concentrated into a very small pot, which translates into clean, burr-free cuts. Faster penetration, better definition in fine geometries, and less power required to achieve the same result. A high beam quality, on the other hand, produces a wider, more diffuse spot. That means rougher edges, difficulty cutting fine features, and more heat in the workpiece. But even if the beam is perfect, how long can it maintain that focus before it starts spreading out? Rayleigh length, effective focal depth. The zone where the beam keeps its maximum power isn't a single point. It's a segment called the Rayleigh length. This defines how tolerant your cut is to high variations, how well the machine handles thick materials, and how stable it stays on mid to high thickness cuts. The longer the focal depth, the less the critical focus precision becomes. A short one means even tiny height error can ruin edge quality. Back reflection. The hidden thread in reflective materials like aluminum, brass, or polished steel, part of the laser energy bounces back towards the head. Without anti-reflection optics or protection systems, that energy can burn the collimating lens, damage sensors, or in extreme cases harm the laser source itself. Back reflection is one of the invisible enemies of laser cutting. You never see it coming, but when it happens, it's costly. Once the beam's quality is clear, what happens when it finally hits the material? A key question arises. What determines whether an edge comes out smooth, with minimal draws and stable piercing phase? It all depends on how the beam delivers its energy, how piercing begins, and how gas flows during the process. Beam profile, energy distribution. That's why sometimes the edge looks shiny, and other times matte or rough. It's not just about parameters, but about the beam profile your machine produces. A laser doesn't start cutting instantly. First, it needs to pierce the material. If it does that at full power all at once, it can cause material blowouts, stains, or burn marks. Accelerated lens wear. Multi-stage piercing avoids that by dividing the piercing process into cycles: low power pulses, short pauses, gradual power increases. The result: cleaner pierces, fewer marks, and faster cutting on thick materials. The HAS is the thermal halo surrounding the cut. It's unavoidable, but it can be controlled. A large HAS means excess heat, poor speed control, uneven power distribution, or inefficient gas flow. A small HAS reduces deformation, improves visual appearances, and preserves the material's mechanical strength. Gas flow dynamics. Gas volume is in everything. What truly matters is how the gas enters the cut. The nozzle diameter, its internal geometry and alignment determine gas speed, flow direction, and process stability. When gas flow dynamics are good, cuts are clean. When they're not, you'll get draws even with perfect parameters. A common sign: if there's draws only on one side of the cut, gas flow is asymmetric. Nozzle standoff, real high tolerance. The distance between the nozzle and the material seems like a small detail, but it can change everything. A variation of just 0.05 millimeters can cause burn marks, poor piercing, dull or matte edges. Many parameter problems are actually height issues. Example: on thin stainless steel, incorrect standoff ruins edge appearance. So, once we've controlled energy, gas, and standoff, how do we achieve even smoother and more stable cuts? Because in modern production, it's not just about cutting well. It's about cutting well all day long. That's where advanced stabilization technologies come in. The laser beam can be programmed to oscillate in controlled patterns, circles, lines, complex trajectories. This technique reduces burr, smooths edges, improves cutting on difficult materials, and stabilizes closed pad geometries. As the cutting head heats up, the focal point shifts slightly, edges change color, penetration depth varies, curve width expands. Priming machines automatically compensate for this thermal drift, maintaining uniform quality throughout the day. At this point, everything connects. Each beam phenomenon directly affects cut stability and precision. These 10 advanced concepts explain why a cut turns out clean, stable, and precise, or not. They are the invisible mechanisms behind the process. At this level, we're no longer talking about operating a machine. We're talking about mastering the process. Want to learn more about laser cutting and metalworking? Follow us and keep mastering the craft with us.